My dear students, how are you? I think all of you are fine. Today we are going to learn a beautiful lesson. And the author of this lesson, Nisha Panjabi, is a freelance writer based in Lucknow, India. She completed her education, including her master's in business administration. And she was employed by the Lucknow Times. Okay? And more about the author is given in the text. You try to please read and today the lesson we are going to see is the race. That is the name of the lesson. The race. All of you know the race. What else? And at the end of the game or a sporting event, we usually appreciate the winner and we encourage them. Not only we appreciate the winner, but also we encourage the loser too. Am I right? Then, shall we go to the lesson? And it is a beautiful story we are going to see. A boy, he was not at all intelligent. He was an average student. His name is Tarun. Then, Tarun was a mediocre student. Mediocre means an average student. Average. He was not at all so brilliant. സാധാരണ കഴിവുകൾ മാത്രമുള്ള ഒരു കുട്ടി. അപ്പോൾ Tarun was a mediocre student. That means he was an ordinary, average student. His grades could barely satisfy his parents. His parents were not satisfied with his grade. Poor grade. That is the reason. Not the A+. And he may have C or D+. As a result, his parents didn't like him. They scolded him. And he was not good singer, dancer, painter, or even an actor. He hasn't such qualities. He was not at all a good singer. He was not at all a dancer or painter or even actor. അപ്പോൾ അങ്ങനെയുള്ള ഗുണഗണങ്ങളുമില്ല ഈ കുട്ടിക്ക്. സാധാരണക്കാരനായ കുട്ടി. അവന് കലകളിൽ താല്പര്യമില്ല. സിംഗറല്ല, പാട്ടുകാരനല്ല, ഡാൻസറല്ല, പെയിൻറ്ററല്ല, ആക്ടർ ഒന്നുമല്ല. He always thought of himself. He also thought as the black sheep of the family. He felt he was a black sheep of the family because his parents frequently scolded him because he didn't give much interest in his studies. That is the reason. So every day he would get enough from parents scolding, and so he considered himself he was a black sheep. Black sheep means a worthless fellow എന്നാണ്. worthless fellow എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ കൂട്ടത്തിൽ ഒന്നിനും കൊള്ളാത്തവൻ. നമ്മൾ പറയില്ലേ മണ്ണിനും ചാണകത്തിനും കൊള്ളില്ല എന്ന് പറയുന്ന പോലെ ഒന്നിനും കൊള്ളാത്തവൻ എന്ന ഒരു തോന്നൽ അവന് തന്നെ ഉണ്ട്. In a black sheep. It's an idiom. What is an idiom? We will see later, but I shall give a brief description. A group of words with meaning different from the meaning of the individual word is called an idiom. A group of words with a meaning different from the individual word. വാക്കിൻ്റെ അർത്ഥത്തിൽ നിന്നും വ്യത്യസ്തമായ അർത്ഥം ധരിപ്പിക്കുന്ന ഒരു കൂട്ടം വാക്കുകൾ ചേർന്ന ഒന്നാണ് ഇൻഡിവിജ്വൽ. അപ്പോൾ യഥാർത്ഥ വാക്കിൻ്റെ അർത്ഥമല്ല അവ നൽകുന്നത്. ഇറ്റ് ഈസ് കാൾഡ് ആൻ ഇഡിയം. ഹിയർ വി സീൻ എ ബ്ലാക്ക്, കറുത്തത് ഷീപ്പ് ആണ്, ചെമ്പരി. അപ്പോൾ കറുത്ത അല്ല. ബ്ലാക്ക് ഷീപ്പ് മീൻസ് വർത്ത്ലെസ് ഫെലോ. ദാറ്റ് മീൻസ് ഒന്നിനും കൊള്ളാത്തവൻ എന്നുള്ള അർത്ഥത്തിലാണ് പ്രയോഗിച്ചത്. ഇറ്റ് ഇസ് ആൻ ഇഡിയം. സച്ച് ഫ്രേസ് കാൾഡ് ഇഡിയം. Black sheep of the family, he found that he was a useless fellow in the family. His elder brother, and who was pursuing a degree in engineering from a reputed college, always made the family proud. So, his brother, he was so brilliant, and he was seeking to obtain, pursuing a degree in the engineering from a reputed college. അപ്പോൾ പ്രശസ്തമായ കോളേജിൽ എഞ്ചിനീയറിംഗ് ഡിഗ്രി പ്രവേശനം ലഭ്യമാക്കാൻ വേണ്ടി നോക്കുന്നു. അപ്പോൾ അവന് എഞ്ചിനീയറിങ്ങിനെ പോലുള്ള കഴിവുണ്ട്. കാര്യം അത്രത്തോളം പ്രാഗൽഭ്യമുള്ള മിടുക്കനായ കുട്ടിയാണ് ഹിസ് ബ്രദർ. ആൻ എഞ്ചിനീയർ ഫ്രം എ reputed college, in a well-known college, but always made the family proud. And he is so his brother, he was so brilliant. As a result, he got admission engineering, and they were so proud of it. As far as the Tarun concerned, and he was an average student. As a result, family, that means his father and mother scolding, because he didn't give much attention in his studies. But Tarun was never good at anything like that. He was not at all good at anything like that. Means he has no interest in art. He has no interest in dancing. He has no interest in painting. No interest at all. Yes. About you may have get a picture of Tarun. He was an average student. He was not at all brilliant. Then how did his family treat him? Then, however, he was blessed with the strength of a great athlete. That is a speciality of this boy. He was a strength of an athlete. ഒരു കായിക കാര്യങ്ങളിൽ ഓട്ടത്തിനായാലും ചാട്ടത്തിനായാലും ഒക്കെ ഉള്ള നല്ല സ്ട്രെങ്ത് ഉള്ള കുട്ടിയായിരുന്നു, കരുത്തുള്ളവൻ. It is a blessing really as far as this boy concerned. He was blessed with the strength of a great athlete. He was an excellent runner. That is the quality. Though he was so backward in his studies, but he was so forward in sports. Look at it. And he would run for hours, be it day or night, because he could run for a long time, day or night. Whenever he felt sad and lonely, he exhausted himself by running, and thus releasing all his pent-up emotion. That means emotions that cannot be controlled. That is pent-up emotion. നിയന്ത്രിക്കാനാകാത്ത, പ്രകടിപ്പിക്കാനാകാത്ത വികാരങ്ങൾ. The pent-up emotion that cannot be controlled. അതാണ് pent-up emotions. So, whenever he felt sad and lonely, when he was sad or lonely and there was nobody, no friends there, lonely, he exhausted himself. That means he used the whole strength of this boy. The boy used his whole strength by running. Because he was alone there, nobody was with him, and he was then sad the way he found was running, and himself running, thus releasing all his pent-up emotion. But how did he release his? How did he release his feelings? How did he released it by running? That means he spent more time running. Felt sad whenever he was sad or lonely. Okay, running. Thus releasing his pent-up. Pent-up emotions, we have seen that emotions that cannot be controlled, such emotions. At times he would miss his school bus and would then run to school, which was 5 miles away from his home. And sometimes he may miss the school bus because he didn't get ready to get in the bus. So what would he do? 5 miles away, the school is 5 miles away from home. So then he would run from there, and before the school bus reaches there, he would. അങ്ങനെ എന്ത് ചെയ്യും? ഇവിടുന്ന് ഒരൊറ്റ ഓട്ടമാണ് സ്കൂളിലേക്ക്. സ്കൂൾ ബസ് എത്തുന്നതിന് മുമ്പ് തന്നെ അവൻ സ്കൂളിൽ എത്താറുണ്ട് എന്നുള്ളതാണ് ഇവിടെ പറയുന്നത്. At which 5 miles away from his home, he just had one dream: to become the fastest runner. But what was his dream? He has only one dream. His dream was to become the fastest runner in the world. ലോകത്തെ ഏറ്റവും വലിയൊരു ഓട്ടക്കാരനാകുക എന്നതാണ് അദ്ദേഹത്തിൻ്റെ അതിയായ ആഗ്രഹം. ഒരു വലിയ ഓട്ടക്കാരനായി മാറണം എന്ന അതിയായ ആഗ്രഹമാണ് അദ്ദേഹത്തിന് ഉണ്ടായത്. Tarun did not know how to achieve his dream, but he doesn't know how to achieve it. You know, if he want to become the fastest runner, a trainer, the service of a trainer is needed. Okay, runner, that means a coach in the world. Tarun did not know how to achieve his dream. On the other hand, his parents hated his running. His parents hated his running and wanted him to concentrate more on his studies. They advised him frequently, concentrate, that means give more attention to your studies. But he has only one dream: to become one of the fastest runners in the world. That was his dream. And concentrate more on his study, which he never did. But he didn't give much concentration in his studies. On the other hand, he belonged to a middle class. Above, he wanted to get coaching. He wanted to get a trainer, that means a coach. But how is it possible? He belongs to a middle class family, not in a rich family. On the other hand, he belonged to a middle class family, and Tarun knew that to achieve his dream, he needed an intensive training. And hard training is needed. And for it, he has to join some training school, or he may get a coach, somebody trainer, the amount for which was well beyond the family's. But a huge amount has to be spent for this purpose. But he cannot dream it. Why? Because he belongs to a middle class family. They can't afford it. That is the reason. But we have seen what was his dream and how was he in his studies. He was an average student, not brilliant, but his brother, he was a brilliant student, and he is in an engineering college, reputed engineering college. Understand? We have seen that. Okay. Family history. When Tarun failed when he failed in his terminal examination, most of his subjects, he scored only poor. And terminal examination, his father was very angry with him. And he was so rude to him because he failed most of his subjects. His friends too made fun of him. And in the class, the students, that means his friends also made fun of him. ഒന്നിനും കൊള്ളാത്ത മടച്ചാമ്പ്രാണി, മണ്ടൻ, ശിരോമണി എന്ന് ക്ലാസ്സിൽ കുട്ടികൾ കളിയാക്കി അവനെ It was a day he wanted to wipe out from his memory, and so he took to running. He wanted to wipe out from his memory. തൻ്റെ ഓർമ്മയിൽ നിന്ന് അതിനെ വൈപ്പ് ഔട്ട് ചെയ്യുക. മനസ്സിലായല്ലോ? അതിനെ തുടച്ച് നീക്കുക, അതാണ് അവൻ്റെ ആഗ്രഹം. ഇനി ഇത് ഓർമ്മയിൽ അത് വയ്ക്കാൻ പാടില്ല. കാര്യം കുട്ടികൾ തന്നെ മണ്ട ശിരോമണിയെന്നും മടച്ചാമ്പ്രാണിയെന്നും ഒന്നിനും കൊള്ളാത്തവനെന്നും വീട്ടുകാരും ഇനി പറയാനൊന്നുമില്ല, വായി തോന്നി അമ്പുഴുക്കൊക്കെ പറഞ്ഞു. എൻ്റെ മനസ്സിൽ നിൽക്കുന്ന മാച്ചുകളാണല്ലോ, അത് മനസ്സിനകത്തവനെ വേദനിപ്പിക്കുകയാണ്. So he found what was the method he used to wipe out and memory. So he took to running. So the way we have seen that how did he wipe out, and the pent-up emotion we had, the releasing all his pent-up emotion, running. That was the method he used. Understand? Here also he is running. So he took to running. He ran all round the park. So what did he ran all round to the park? That was the method he used. Wipe out that was. The sun beat down to check his rage. His rage means violent anger. Rage, ദേഷ്യം. അവൻ്റെ ദേഷ്യം, പ്രയാസം. Why? Because even his friends also made fun of him. അവനെ കളിയാക്കി. So he wanted to wipe out everything. And so the sun beat down to check his rage. And the sun beat. അപ്പോൾ സൂര്യതാപം കൊണ്ട് നല്ല വെയിലുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ പോലും അവൻ്റെ കോപം ശമിച്ചില്ല. But nothing could stop that. After about an hour, he was fully exhausted, and his fury having subsided. He threw himself on a bench and started panting. You know, panting. Pant means breathe hard. Pant. കിതയ്ക്കുക. So the sun beat down to check his rage, but nothing could stop. After about an hour, continuously, he was fully exhausted, and his fury, a word is here, fury, that a തീവ്രമായ വികാരം, violent passion, and fury means violent passion, having then subsided, having ശമിക്കുക, become less subsided. He threw himself on a bench and started panting. So he ran around the park more than 1 hour. And as a result, he has lost his breath. ശ്വാസം പോലും നിലയ്ക്കുന്ന മട്ടായി. He began to pant. Then, what happened? He threw himself on a bench and started panting heavily. കിതച്ച് അവസാനം ഒരു ബെഞ്ചിൽ ചെന്ന് കിടപ്പ് പിടിച്ചു. അവൻ തളർന്ന് കിടന്നു.